Good morning, Paul and Bhargav. It's Wednesday, the 26th of April. Here's the heads of brief for today. For the Southeast Asia production, we covered 14 issues. In North Asia, we covered 6, and for Australasia and the Pacific Islands, we covered 7. In South Asia, we covered 14 issues also, plus the major issues in Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead, Uday. I'm just driving through some rain, so you might get disruptive noises from time to time. The monsoon's just hit here in Thailand.
Sure, no worries, Paul. In Papua New Guinea, unrest in West New Britain continued as local residents have been raiding and vandalizing buildings, such as government offices and police stations and other property. This is after police killed 16 prisoners who had recently escaped from a jail. Some of their relatives and community members are behind the unrest. A curfew has been imposed in the capital, Kimbe, where businesses and government offices have also been shut.
Okay, thank you.
In Papua, Indonesia, the West Papua National Liberation Army released a video with the abducted New Zealand pilot. In the video, the pilot stated that he was healthy and he urged the Indonesian military to stop conducting airstrikes in the area. He said that this was dangerous for him and the people around.
And it has been for the last 50 years. I can't see a will to act in a humane manner coming out of central Jakarta.
Right. Also in Indonesia, the United Development Party will announce its presidential candidate today. This is after the Indonesian Democratic Party of Struggle nominated Ganjar Pranowo late last week. Jakarta Governor Anies Baswedan has also been nominated, and Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto is expected to be on a third ticket.
Okay, excellent. Prabowo just keeps on keeping on. Be interesting to see if he can get rid of his past and that militant new order that was overthrown by civil unrest so long ago, and whether he can actually transition from complete and utter psychopathic madman into something that people may have forgotten the history of his role in human rights executions across the nation when he was heading special forces. I think this is his best chance, but he already owes his brother a whole heap of money, so his brother's obviously not backing him again because he's nearly been bankrupted by Prabowo so many times, but let's see how it unfolds. Hopefully, one man, one vote, one democracy will overcome Prabowo's rise, because it would be a massive backward step taking us back nigh on 3 decades. Thank you.
Right. In South Asia, the Pakistani military has said that it cannot hold talks with the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan. This is despite the government trying to do so to reduce the threat of terrorism. The military also said that it will only support simultaneous elections, which goes against the Supreme Court and the Constitution.
This is classic Pakistani military, irrespective of what the civilian government as well as the judiciary says. Pakistani military will do what it wants. Also to note here is, as soon as Faiz Hamid, the previous director of Inter-Service Intelligence, the intelligence agency, retired from the agency and the armed forces, their approach to Taliban has been quite rigid, and they are preferring to take up arms instead of negotiating. And this is reflective of the civilian government as well. Back then, Imran Khan was in power. Faiz Hamid had backed him to be the prime minister. As soon as he stepped out, the military support to Imran Khan also waned. So I guess these are interconnected, complicated loop of things. Hopefully this will evolve out of a never-ending maze.
Right. In India, the National Investigation Agency conducted raids in 16 locations in Bihar, Goa, Uttar Pradesh, and Punjab. This is against the Popular Front of India, which they have launched a crackdown against in the last few months.
The National Investigative Agency is a capable organization under the Ministry of Home Affairs, and they report directly to PMO depending on the cases they are handling. They have been effective in ensuring the recruitment to Islamic State, especially in southern part of India, being curbed to a greater extent. They're going after PFI, and this is not news. They have been after this organization for nearly 2-3 years. PFI specifically has been targeted by the incumbent government for their activism rather than their proven involvement in any terror activities. Of course, this is a very sensitive statement to make, but a clear conviction of the members of PFI is yet to happen, despite a major crackdown last year.
Great, that's an interesting point. Moving over to Europe, Middle East, and Africa. In France, the pension law will go into effect on the 1st of September. Now, workers are planning mass May Day rallies and strikes.
Thank you, Uday.
In Germany, a suspected terrorist was arrested in Hamburg yesterday. Authorities said that he was planning to bomb civilian targets. No other details have been released.
That's concerning. Thanks.
In Turkey, Erdogan's government launched a fresh crackdown on journalists in the opposition and Kurdish parties ahead of the May 14 general elections. This will be his first real test in a long time, as he has lost appeal over the state of the economy, and specifically inflation, and the earthquake recovery.
I would agree with the statement that this will be a test of Erdogan's leadership, as well as a strongman image in Turkey. Erdogan as a geopolitical actor is an important one, especially considering the Ukraine-Russia scenario. Turkey has played on the both sides. It's part of the NATO. So retaining power in Turkey for Erdogan will be very critical. And he has not been, let's say, kind of a leader in Turkey. He's not the one to carve out Western demands. So probably West is likely to be happy if he loses power. But at the moment, it looks unlikely, given the lack of opposition or a strong opposition.
Right. And lastly, South Africa, officials from South Africa's ruling party said that they may quit the International Criminal Court. This is as Russian President Vladimir Putin is supposed to visit in August for a BRICS summit. The International Criminal Court had issued an arrest warrant for him. There are conflicting statements from the South African government over this matter.
South Africa is an important player in the BRICS community, along with India and China and Brazil. So this doesn't come as a surprise that they would withdraw from ICC when there's a specter of arrest for a visiting president, that is Putin. And this is important for them to maintain a cordial relationship with Russia and China.
Great. That's the brief for today. Anything else from you?
Nothing from you there. Thanks.
Excellent brief, Uday. Thanks very much. Cheerio.
Thanks.